Hey, what is going on, guys? It is Young here, and today I'm back in a Fortnite video, and in today's video I'm going to give you guys some tips and tricks on how to hit more shotgun shots here in Fortnite. And so there's a ton of different shotguns. So in the gameplay I have in the background, I think I used pretty much every shotgun in the game. I even have some gameplay from the Unvaulted where I was using the purple pump. So I do have all the shotguns in this video, so there's a lot to talk about, and I'm really going to explain exactly how you can hit more shots and how to improve your accuracy when it comes to using the shotgun. And before we get into the video, I have a weekly V-Buck giveaway. I'm going to be giving away V-Bucks every single Friday, and if you guys want a chance to win some free V-Bucks, all you guys need to do is to drop a like on this video. Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel and as well subscribe to my second channel. I post a ton of really good content on there, so make sure you guys do subscribe. Turn on my post notifications, and as well leave a comment down below of your Xbox gamer tag, your PSN gamer tag, or Epic account. And if you guys would like to support me as a creator in the item shop, all you have to do is go over to the item shop, go into the bottom right hand corner, support a creator, and type in my code. My code is Young Humor. Type it in and you guys will have me supported as a creator. And alright guys, let's get right to the video. Alright, so in this video, I wanted to be talking about how to improve your accuracy when it comes to using the shotgun. And so there's a few things in this video that I want to talk about that I think can really help you guys out a ton, especially for those of you guys who play on controller, that can really help you guys out when it comes to improving your accuracy when it comes to the shotgun, and as well just hitting more shots, which can allow you to win a lot more gunfights and ultimately win a lot more games. So the first thing that you can do that I think has personally helped me out the most, and something that I would recommend for every player, and the first thing is just going to be lowering your sensitivity. And this all is subjective to really what you play on, because if you already play on like a 5 sensitivity, you probably do not want to lower it. But I know a lot of players on controller, they play on a pretty high sensitivity. I would say anywhere from, I don't know, like a high 7 to an 8 I would consider a higher sensitivity. And I played on a 0.65 for a really long time, and I'm talking about X and Y sensitivity, and I played on a 0.65 for a very long time, and I recently just moved mine up to a 7, and for a few reasons which I'll explain. But if you play on a very high sensitivity, you're on an 8, 9, or maybe even a 10 sensitivity, and you feel like your accuracy is really bad, you're not hitting as many shots as you would like, the best thing and the easiest thing that you can do to try out is going to be lowering your sensitivity. I think that can be a huge advantage to you and really help you out when it comes to hitting a lot more shots and just being more accurate in general, because it is easier, because once you slow down your sensitivity, it is easier to when it comes to tracking other players. So that could be anything from maybe they're moving from left to right, and then just tracking them with your shotgun. It's a lot easier on a lower sensitivity than it is on a higher sensitivity. And that's really where keyboard and mouse players have the advantage, because they can have a high sensitivity and track at the exact same time without having too much of an issue. But when it comes to controller players, it's a little bit more difficult. You can't really track players on a very high sensitivity and also be very consistent with it. So that's the number one thing I can recommend, just lowering your sensitivity if you are playing on a high sensitivity. And also, one thing to mention when it comes to changing anything like your sensitivity, you do have to give yourself a few days to get used to the sense, because trust me, the second you change your sensitivity, your accuracy is going to be more than likely all over the place. So it can help out in the long run, but you just have to get used to that sensitivity that you change it to. So if you do change it, and the more that you change it, the longer it's probably going to take to get used to. If you're only changing it by a few points, it shouldn't take that long. It should feel almost the same, just a slight bit different. So it really shouldn't take that long to get used to. But if you are making a little bit bigger of a change, you definitely have to allow yourself at least a few days to even like a week to really have that sensitivity down and just hit more shots. But trust me, if you do lower your sensitivity, I would say anything in the range from like a 6.0 all the way up to like a 7.5. For me personally, this is just my personal opinion, but I think that is going to be the range for you guys to have the best accuracy possible, especially for those of you guys who are playing on console. For those of you guys who do play on a PC and play on those higher frame rates, you guys can understand it's a lot easier to control your accuracy. But for those of you guys who are on 60 frames, it's going to be much more difficult, and I would recommend for sure lowering your sensitivity if you are playing on a very high sense. And when it comes to personal choice with a shotgun, I just wanted to make it really clear. When it comes to the shotgun, my preferred shotgun to go to is going to be the combat shotgun, and it's going to be for a few really good reasons. I know before I said that the pump was my go-to weapon, but I did change my mind, and the reason being is when it comes to the pump shotgun, it's not that the pump shotgun is bad. The pump shotgun is really good, and I'd recommend it if you want to go for some really nice clips, because you can hit for 190 damage, 200 damage on a shot if you do headshot point blank. So there is a lot of upside when it comes to maximum damage that you can hit for. But overall, the combat shotgun is just one of the best weapons to go to just because of the insane range that you can get on it. It's so much better than the pump. A pump shotgun can hit from like 23 at range, while the combat shotgun can still easily hit for 88 to 100 if you get a headshot. So there is a big difference when it comes to range, and just when you're in build fights, I just feel like it's just a lot more consistent and just going to be better overall if you are using a combat shotgun over a pump or any other shotgun in the game. So the combat shotgun for me is personally the shotgun that I go to. It's just the best one in this game so far, and at first I didn't think that, but after using it and really seeing how the game plays, the combat shotgun is definitely the go-to weapon when it comes to hitting the most shots, doing the most damage in the quickest amount of time, and also being the most consistent shotgun out there. So combat shotgun, 100% the way to go. That's what I would recommend using in your games. But like I said, it is personal preference. Some of you guys might actually be better with the pump. So when it comes to the different shotguns, it really depends on your playstyle and how you play, because when you use the combat shotgun, you do have a little bit more leeway when it comes to range, versus if you have the auto shotty, which I think the auto shotty is pretty bad, but I have had times where I've absolutely destroyed players with it. And also the new tac is pretty good as well. But the thing about the new tac and the pump shotgun, it can do a lot of damage. But the biggest and most notable downfall of the pump shotgun and the tac shotgun is of course going to be the range on those weapons. It hits hard, it hits heavy at close range. And also one thing you have to mention too is the fire rate. The combat shotgun shoots way faster than any pump or any tac. The tac does shoot decently fast. It's not too slow. You can get off a couple shots very quickly. But the pump shotgun, of course, is going to be very slow, and you're going to have to use a either an SMG, assault rifle, or any sort of backup weapon, because if you don't hit for a 200 damage shot, you want to shoot with your pump and then immediately switch to an SMG. So when you are using the combat shotgun, it does give you a little bit extra room when it comes to that third slot, because you do not have to carry an SMG if you don't want to. You can easily carry a heavy sniper, which I personally do, or maybe you can carry an extra heal. You don't have to worry about having an extra SMG, whereas the pump you definitely have to, or the tac possibly. Really depends on the situation. But if the tac does hit really hard, it can do a lot of damage. But like I said, the range on it is a little bit lower, and just for my playstyle and the way I play, I can play really aggressive. I can kind of play mid-aggressive, where I do play aggressive, but I do give myself a little bit of range, really depending on the situation. But what's best for me is going to be the combat shotgun, but I know a lot of you guys might actually like the tac better. So all personal preference and just really understanding your playstyle and see what works best. And the last thing that I wanted to talk on in this video that I think can help you guys out a ton when it comes to hitting your shots with the shotgun is going to be, so when you're in those close range fights, I'm talking the point blank right next to you, I almost never aim down my sights with a shotgun. And this is because when the guy is point blank and the guy is right in front of you, the best way to do it is not to aim down your sights, and the main reason just really being the player is so close. When you try to aim down your sights with a shotgun, since they are so close, you have to move your crosshair so much, and especially for me, I'm on a lower sensitivity, so I can't just whip my mouse all the way across my desk with my 3-foot long mouse pad. I just can't do that. But I am much more accurate with the shotgun when I don't aim down my sights at that range. But when it comes to the mid and long range, I really just mean long range with a shotgun. I don't mean like across the map. The long range, I definitely do aim down my sights the majority of times. The thing about the combat shotgun is you can actually get away with hip firing and not aiming down your sights at that range. You can still hit for a lot of damage, whereas if you have a pump or attack, you might be out of luck. So you do have the range benefit, but when it comes to those mid and longer ranges, I do most of the time, like I said, recommend aiming down your sights. It's going to allow you to hit a lot more shots and be more accurate. But when you are in those situations where you're point blank right next to the other player, 100% I would recommend hip firing. You're going to be hitting way more shots doing this, and I would keep that in mind every single fight, because if you try to aim down your sights when you're right next to the other player, it's really going to throw you off, because any sudden movement, they can be on the right side of your screen, and then the next second they can be on the far left side of your screen, and it could just be very hard to drag your sight all the way over. Unless you're on a very high sensitivity, you can do so, but if you're playing on a high sensitivity, you're going to be missing more shots than a player who's playing on a low sensitivity. So that's just my 2 cents when it comes to that. And with that being said, that's going to wrap it up for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys liked it, make sure you guys do drop a like. Make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on my notifications so you guys can get notified for every single new video. And alright guys, I'll see you next video.